Hi guys, this is going to be a hopefully quick Trello instructional video on how I'm kind of envisioning using Trello that's going to complement the email that I sent to both of you with some instructions. As you can see, I have the grant activity Trello board up here. These, don't worry about these. These, of course, as you know, should have been kind of included in here. And right now, the way that this is working is what we need to see basically is the complete activity from the beginning when when Vanessa created the card all the way up until now, where there's the update of the questions that were sent to Top Chrétien, David Nolan, and then of course all the files. And what you can see here is that you have the dates, which is really helpful, and also the dates here for the comments is really helpful. So you can kind of go back and track all of the different activities in chronological order. So for me, that helps because if I'm reviewing something, I'm not thinking, wait, should I review this? Should I review that? It's like I can start right at the top and kind of say, oh, here's what's been going on with the thing. As I mentioned in that card, there's some things here that you don't need. Power-ups, we don't need that. The move, copy, watch, all that stuff. What we do need, though, is a detailed description. And even though the this stuff is good, I'm going to actually take us through creating a new card that's very similar to this one. And this is kind of these are the things that I'm hoping to put in there. Vanessa, particularly, that we can put in there for Grant and anybody who's working on the card itself. So the first part's really more, I think, about Vanessa. So what happens is I'll get a application invitation, which I have right here. We've got a partner, ITEA, that is in their second grant cycle for Cornerstone Trust. And so here we have the email just today or yesterday. Hey, happy to invite you to proposal. Here's the application. Here's all these things. So what I'll be doing is I'll be forwarding this to Vanessa, and I'll just do that right now. Okay, and then what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a new card, right? So what I want to do is I want to add another card. And by the way, this should be moved over into work because we are working on it. Okay, so the title for this card will be 2019 Proposal. Yeah, Cornerstone. And what's important here, I think, is that we follow the same naming conventions. Okay, so proposal, what is it? What are we working on? Who's the partner ministry? Who's the funder? Okay, report, Top Chrétien, McClellan. 2019 proposal, Top Chrétien, McClellan. So that's created. Okay, yeah, I think no, don't add another card. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's, you just click the add card. There it is. What we want to do here is we want to just copy and paste. Copy this. Okay, I just hit a Control-C. And then the detailed description, paste it in. Okay, why? Well, we're going to go ahead and change all these things. And that's contract determined. That's always going to be there. Okay, donor. All right. And necessary information. Okay, so I'm doing this for the sake of having just showing a little bit. I'm not going to create the whole card maybe on this video, but I am going to go ahead and just show you what should be on a card. Okay, so we need due dates. When is this due date? They don't have an action. If you look at this, they don't really have a due date here. Okay, what they do have is So we're going to have to pick one. I know they're going to probably do monthly. It's April 13th. We already have a lot of the information, so let's just set a due date of 5/15/19. Okay, and the final draft will aim to submit that by maybe June. Okay, let's just put a month. Let's just use months. Okay, this always is going to stay the same because there. Okay, so then again, 2019, yeah, proposal for Cornerstone Trust donor. Well, actually, I can just put proposal because we have the donor down there. Cornerstone Trust. The project is service. This is the description of what we want you to do, Grant. So what do we want you to do? Complete the application forms based on last cycle's application. As this is a continuation of project rollout. The necessary information. Okay, so that is going to be, again, this is more for Vanessa, but we're going to probably have the application document. And I know they did redo their application, so yep. So we're going to have that. We're going to have the contact sheet. Okay. We're going to have the grant process and application FAQ. So Vanessa is probably going to go ahead and, well, that's not right. Sorry about that. Go here. Vanessa will be also creating the folder. Cornerstone 2019. That's going to be report, so we're going to do this. Once you get into this naming, it's always the foundation, the year, and then what the thing is, so it doesn't get all muddled. And this is the year of working on it and submission. So what's actually going to happen here is we will go ahead and download that and put it into there we go. Put it into that folder, which will be once again here. Again, this is going to be a really all prep work that is going to be done. Now, the good news is once you do that, that each one is, this is the actual application that you're going to find. We'll just go ahead and save, whoops, no, let's enable editing. Go ahead and save that as, okay, we'll browse again. There we go. Down, and then we'll download another one. Boom. All right. Hope I didn't open tons of these things. Here we go. Save as. Proposal. This time I'll have it there. Boom. Okay, so now we've downloaded all the stuff. It's in there. And those are going to be the assets. And I'll put those in later. It'll just be the file names. And then the necessary information is also last cycle's proposal, budget. Well, actually, this is going to be more on the lines of what the description is going to be. The assets are going to be that, and then basically provide, Okay. So we're going to save that. Again, I'm going to fill this out a little bit later, but you see the things that we're going to do, and Vanessa, you just have to look at that. And then just add the attachments, right? We're going to add some attachments here. We've got that. So, okay. Oh, that's not it. Okay, I guess I have to go back here. So then we're going to attach the files. I think what's critical, well, what's key here is that I'm going to have that. Oops, sorry. That's not right. I want to do another attachment. Computer should pull us up into the same thing. Yep. Okay, so then we got the application. We got another attachment. Computer. We got the contact sheet. There you go. I will add the last year's application as well. It wasn't actually last year, so that's why I'm saying last cycle, but the last application they did, I'm going to add that as well. And then you go. So what should so here, what we have here is very similar to this one. Okay, so you know, the necessary information is kind of the context. Here's what we want, all that stuff. That's got to be in there. So Grant, you know what you're doing. Okay, we do want to add the due date here. Okay, and we decided the due date of 5/15. So we're going to go ahead and put 5/15. Okay, and we're going to add members. This is key. So I'm going to be added to this because you can create a card. Nobody will be added. I'm going to add Grant. I'm going to add Vanessa. All three of us should be on there. Okay, so again, put the description in, copy, paste, modify, add the attachments. That's what's required this year and all previous or last year's application or anything that Grant is going to need to know. Set a due date, add the members, boom. Okay, now that's more Vanessa's side. And again, that's not complete. I have some more attachments to do. So Grant, you can see what's going on there. But that is the base. This should be in ready for work. Now, Grant, when you get on here, you're going to get a notification. In fact, you probably just did, saying you've been added to a card. So what you want, you're going to open up Trello. This is exactly what you're going to see, right? You're going to click on this card. You're going to say, okay, you're going to read through this. And this is the key part. If you agree to the terms listed above, type I accept. Okay, so if you have questions, now is the time to ask the questions. So you'd be like, what are we doing here? What are we doing there? So don't accept until you're really clear on what needs to happen. And again, that's why it should all be spelled out here. So you can just read it, say, yep, that sounds right. This isn't questions about the project. This is or about the actual proposal or report or whatever the deliverable is. It's more questions along the lines of, you know, do I understand what the project service and the necessary information? Do I see all of the files that I need to see, kind of thing? Does it look right? And so then what you do is you type I accept. Okay, this is if you were Grant. I'm going to delete that later. And then what you do is you move it over. You move the card over to in work. This is not just ready for work. You're working on it now. So now this is what your things are done are doing, right? So this. Okay, for this particular one, until you have a final version and you cannot take it any further, and all the questions that David Nodal has answered, and et cetera, all these responses, all these things, that it is not ready yet. Okay, keep that card in work. That way we all know, hey, this is not a done deal yet, right? This is not a done deal yet. Now, when you finish it, just like the report for Top Chrétien, which, by the way, I'm just going to mark that as... Actually, I'm not. Yeah, you can mark that as that. When it's done, when your part's done, you click, okay, when your part's done, let's say, you know, you've taken this as far, you have all the final drafts. Grant, you're going to want to click, and you've taken it all, and your work is done. Like your project, your part's like, look, I've taken it as far as I can take it. I've written everything. You're going to click that. It's going to be done. Okay, and if it's not, you know, just click that when it's done. And if it's a different date, you can maybe change that. Close the card and move it over here to in review. Okay, that way, like for the report, I still have to review that. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at anything here is what I actually need to review, right? And they should all look like these first two cards. These I'm going to delete. I'm going to try to put these back into that card, but I'm going to delete them or archive them, so you won't even see these anymore. But this is going to be that. When I finish it, right? When I finish it, reviewing the report, it's going to be over here in complete. So Grant, you're going to be moving the card from ready to work to in work. When you're done with working on it, you're going to move it to review. I'm going to move it when I'm done reviewing it to complete. Okay. And if anything gets put on hold, we'll just put it over here, just as a place saver or whatever. Okay. So, that's still there. This is obviously not complete because we just started it. And, I'm going to go ahead and delete my, delete that, delete the comment. Obviously, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. I'm going to move it back over here to ready to work. And so it should be ready for you guys to go. And then when you're actually working on it, this is, again, I want to reiterate. Oh, by the way, you can put the attachments for proposal to complete. Okay, Vanessa, if you'd like to do that, you absolutely can to keep yourself straight. I didn't do it, but you absolutely can and check these things off, and that's absolutely fine. No problem. Okay. This part with Vanessa, it's really up to you. But this, I want to reiterate that this type of what's going on here with the workflow, Grant, Vanessa, you guys are commenting, you're attaching things. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see, and perfectly keeping it all on one card. And the only thing is, when you're done with this, just click the, I'm done with it. Yep. Okay. And then Grant, you just move it over to in review. And so when I see these little things with the green thing on there in the in review, I know that's my cue to start working. So that's how you're going to do. Again, I'm going to flesh this out a little bit more, but that's kind of where we're at with for Vanessa, the creating of the card and moving it, and then Grant, how you are attached to the card, how you start the work and say, I accept, let's go, let's move it over to the in work, and so how the card should be moving, how they should be working. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email. If we need to talk it through, that's fine too.